The scandal of Lady Grey. The morning fog clung to the streets of London like a whispered secret, muffling the clatter of carriage wheels and the distant tolling of St. Paul's bells. Through the mist, Lady Eleanor Grey walked briskly, her gloved hands clutching the edges of her cloak. Each step echoed in the silence of the early hour, her boots clicking against the cobblestones like a heartbeat that would not be hushed. Today was the day of her social undoing. The whispered rumors. Lady Grey, the jewel of Somerset House, had long been admired for her beauty, wit, and impeccable manners. Yet in the glittering salons of London, admiration often turned to envy, and whispers to scandal. It was said she had been seen, alone, after midnight, with Lord William Ashford, a dashing and married gentleman, known equally for his charm and his jewels. The rumor had reached Lady Grey's ears weeks ago, carried in the hushed tones of ladies at tea, the sharp smiles of men in tailcoats, and the disapproving glares of her own relatives. She had expected reproach, but nothing could have prepared her for the public censure now awaiting her at the Tun's gathering. A soirée hosted by Duchess Pembroke, famed for her sharp tongue and sharper eye for scandal. The ballroom. The ballroom shimmered with candlelight and gold embroidery. Gilded mirrors reflected the chandeliers, and every step echoed with the rustle of silk. Eleanor's heart pounded as she entered, aware of every gaze, every whisper. Some were tinged with curiosity, others with outright derision. Lord Ashford was present, standing near the far end of the room, his posture perfect, his expression composed. But when their eyes met, Eleanor saw something unspoken, a flicker of regret, perhaps, or fear. She had rehearsed her words, her demeanor, for countless hours. Yet now, facing the glittering court, the rehearsals felt hollow. The confrontation. It happened during the waltz. Eleanor's partner, a polite but forgettable viscount, guided her across the floor, the soft strains of the orchestra masking her rising panic. Suddenly, a hush fell. Lady Grey felt every eye turn toward her as a whisper of silk heralded Duchess Pembroke's approach. The Duchess stopped just short of Eleanor, her eyes glittering like cut glass. "Lady Grey," she said, her voice deceptively sweet, "I hear tales that you and Lord Ashford are quite fond of each other. How delightful. Though one wonders how your fiancé feels." The room held its breath. Eleanor's stomach turned, but she refused to tremble. "Duchess," she said, her voice steady, "I am ever mindful of propriety, and any insinuation to the contrary is unwarranted." The Duchess arched an eyebrow, clearly enjoying the tension. "How noble! Yet I cannot help but notice your hand lingers on the arm of Lord Ashford." Eleanor's mind raced. Her heart, though loyal in feeling, recognized that public opinion was a force more formidable than her private truth. The revelation. Then came the letter. A small slip of paper, folded and delivered silently by a footman. Eleanor opened it in the privacy of the garden, her gloves trembling. "Meet me at the rose arbor, if you would speak the truth to the world. W.A." She walked swiftly to the arbor, dew soaking her skirts. There he was, Lord Ashford, flushed with urgency, his eyes wide with a mixture of fear and hope. "You must listen," he said, taking both her hands. "I am not married. The rumors, they are lies, planted by those who envy us both. The Duchess spreads them to see you humiliated, to see me compromised. Will you trust me?" Eleanor's breath caught. Every ounce of reason told her caution, yet every heartbeat told her this was truth. "I do," she whispered, her voice breaking under the weight of weeks of worry. The scandal unfolds differently. That evening, the Duchess raised her glass to toast the lady of the hour. "To Lady Grey," she proclaimed, "whose charm and poise remain unshaken, even amid scandal." The Tun watched in silence, then erupted in applause. Eleanor's cheeks warmed, her eyes scanning the crowd until they found Lord Ashford, smiling with relief. The letters, the whispers, the poised accusations. They had all unraveled before the weight of truth. The aftermath. Weeks later, Lady Grey and Lord Ashford were seen walking hand in hand along the Serpentine, laughing freely as if the season's gossip had never existed. The Duchess, meanwhile, whispered into fewer ears, her sharpness slightly dulled by the revelation of her error. Eleanor's name remained untarnished. Yet she had learned the power of words, of reputation, and of daring to confront scandal with courage rather than fear. And sometimes in quiet moments, she would smile at the memory of a misty morning and the first glance exchanged in a ballroom that could have been her undoing, a morning when scandal almost found her, yet love saved her instead.